I never imagined that lying face down on a massage table would lead to something that would leave me breathless in every way. I came in for my usual back pain, expecting a routine session. Some pressure, some stretching, maybe a few awkward cracks. But what happened that day changed the way I looked at him and myself. It started with a touch that lingered just a second too long, a silence that felt heavier than usual, and the moment his hands moved lower, something in the air shifted completely. What had always been professional suddenly felt electric, and I still can't believe what happened next. What would you do if your massage session took an unexpected turn? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps the video reach more people, and we truly appreciate it. My name's Noah. I'm 27, work in IT, and sit at a desk for 10 hours a day trying to fix everyone else's problems while ignoring the growing pain in my lower back. A few months ago, I finally gave in and booked a session with a local massage therapist a few blocks from my apartment. That's how I met Leo. Leo was 37, calm, confident, and the kind of guy who made silence feel comforting rather than awkward. He had strong hands, a steady voice, and this quiet intensity about him that made it hard to tell what he was thinking. From the first session, I knew he was good at what he did. I'd leave his studio feeling like I had a new spine, floating all the way back to my car. The first few times were purely routine. I'd walk in stiff, he'd ask a few questions, then work through the knots in my shoulders while jazz music played softly in the background. We talked a little, mostly small things, weather, posture, his dog, my job. Nothing more. But after the third or fourth session, I started noticing the way his hands would pause, just slightly in certain places. How he would breathe a little heavier when he leaned in close. How sometimes his fingers would graze just a bit more skin than necessary when adjusting the sheet. At first, I thought I was imagining it. Maybe it was just my own mind playing tricks. After all, lying half-naked under a warm towel while a good-looking guy ran his hands across your body wasn't exactly the easiest situation to think clearly in. Still, nothing ever crossed the line. He was always respectful, always professional, but the tension was there, subtle, unspoken. I started looking forward to the appointments more than I probably should have. I'd spend too long picking out which t-shirt to wear, and I'd try not to read too much into the way his eyes sometimes followed me as I undressed behind the screen. That day, though, everything was different. I was late getting there. Traffic had been brutal, and when I finally arrived, a little flustered and out of breath, Leo met me at the door with a soft smile. "Rough morning?" he asked, his voice calm as always. "You have no idea," I said, laughing nervously. "I think my back's worse than ever." He nodded toward the table. "Well, let's fix that." The room smelled like eucalyptus and lavender, and the soft instrumental music hummed in the background. I undressed behind the screen like always, leaving on my briefs and sliding under the warm towel, face down, arms relaxed at my sides. Leo returned a moment later, and as he started working on my upper back, everything felt normal again until it didn't. His hands were slower, more deliberate. When he reached my lower back, his thumbs pressed firmly into the muscles near my hips, and I heard him exhale softly above me. His fingers grazed the waistband of my briefs as he worked, and for the first time, neither of us pretended it didn't happen. I shifted slightly but didn't pull away. I didn't want to. There was a pause, a long one. His hands stayed still for a moment, resting gently on my skin, and when I looked back at him over my shoulder, he was already looking at me. His expression unreadable but intense. And just like that, something between us broke open. Leo's eyes locked with mine for a few seconds, silent, searching, like he was waiting to see if I'd pull away, if I'd say something, if I'd pretend I hadn't just felt the same spark he clearly had. I didn't move. I didn't say anything. I just looked at him, heart beating faster than I could control, my breath shallow as his hands still rested on the bare skin of my lower back. Then something shifted in him, subtle but unmistakable. He moved his hands again, but this time slower, softer, his fingers tracing along the dip of my spine in a way that felt less like therapy and more like curiosity. Affection, maybe even longing. I turned my face to the side, my cheek resting against the headrest, watching him through the corner of my eye as he moved around the table. His hands moved to my shoulders again, kneading them gently, but it was clear now. This wasn't routine anymore. This was something else. "You okay?" he asked quietly, his voice lower than usual. I nodded. "Yeah," I whispered. "More than okay." There was silence after that, charged and heavy, but not uncomfortable. His hands moved again, sliding carefully down my back, fingers brushing the edge of the towel, and I felt the tension in my body shift completely. It wasn't from pain. It was anticipation. Then I felt it. His touch lower, lingering at the small of my back, thumbs tracing lazy circles near the waistband of my briefs. And slowly he leaned down, his breath warm on my skin. I could feel it, his face close, lips just above my lower back. I shivered. His fingers slid up again, along my sides, and I felt his hands splay out against my ribs, steadying me gently as he spoke near my ear. "I've tried not to feel this," he murmured, "but it's been there for a while." I turned my head again to look at him, and this time our faces were close. Close enough to see the flicker in his eyes, the hesitation, the restraint he was fighting to hold on to. "Me too," I said. "Every time I come in here, it's harder to pretend." That was all it took. He leaned in and kissed me. Softly at first, just the edge of my jaw, then a little deeper, mouth warm and slow and full of all the things we hadn't been able to say until now. His hands were on my sides, then on my shoulders, then tangled gently in my hair as I shifted beneath him and kissed him back, pulling him closer. There was a hunger in it, yes, but also something incredibly tender, like we'd both been waiting for permission to feel what we were already feeling. "Do you want this?" he asked softly against my mouth, his voice trembling ever so slightly. "Because if we start, I don't want to stop." I looked at him, really looked at him, and nodded. "Yes, I want this." He helped me roll onto my back, eyes never leaving mine, and then he climbed up beside me, his body warm against mine on the massage table as we kissed again. Longer this time, deeper. His hands roamed carefully, tracing the lines of my chest, the curve of my waist, every touch deliberate and filled with care. The massage oil still lingered faintly on my skin, making everything feel warmer, smoother, more intense. He whispered my name like it was something sacred, and every kiss he pressed against my neck, my jaw, my lips felt like something new blooming between us. And right there on the table, beneath soft music and warm light, we let it happen. Slowly, gently, with whispered breaths and exploring hands. We didn't speak much. Our bodies did all the talking, and in the quiet of that small studio, the line between touch and feeling disappeared completely. We lay there for a while after, still quiet, breath slowly returning to normal as the music drifted softly through the room like it didn't know what had just happened. Leo sat at the edge of the table, one hand still resting on my chest, his thumb lightly brushing across my skin like he wasn't quite ready to let go. I stayed where I was, eyes half closed, letting the moment linger before reality inevitably crept back in. "That wasn't supposed to happen," he said eventually, not looking at me. "But it did," I replied, turning to glance at him. "And I'm not sorry." He met my gaze then, his eyes more vulnerable than I'd ever seen them. Like a wall had come down between us and neither of us really knew what to do with that yet. "I've had clients flirt before," he said quietly. "But with you it never felt like that. Felt different. Like I didn't want to cross the line. Like if I did, I might actually care what happened next." His words settled in my chest with a warmth I didn't expect. I sat up slowly, the sheet still loosely wrapped around my waist, and reached for his hand. "Leo," I said, my voice softer now. "You weren't the only one trying not to feel it." His fingers laced with mine. For a guy who'd just taken me apart with his hands an hour ago, he suddenly looked nervous. Like now that it was over, he wasn't sure what came next. "I just don't want this to be a mistake," he said. I squeezed his hand gently. "Then let's not treat it like one." For the first time that day, he smiled small but real. And in that look, I saw it too. This wasn't a slip. This wasn't something either of us would forget tomorrow. We cleaned up in silence, helped each other dress, and didn't speak about scheduling another session. It felt too formal now, too clinical after what had passed between us. As I stood at the door, backpack slung over my shoulder, I looked back at him. So, do I text you about an appointment? Or do I text you just because I want to see you? Leo smiled again, leaning against the counter. Either way, I'll be waiting. I didn't text him that night. I wanted to. My fingers hovered over my phone more than once, but every time I started typing something, still thinking about today, or can't sleep, I'd erase it. Not because I didn't mean it, but because I didn't want to make it feel cheap. What happened between us wasn't just heat and impulse. Felt bigger than that. And I think we were both trying to figure out what it meant now that the massage table wasn't between us. The next day, around noon, Leo messaged me first. Leo, I can't stop thinking about yesterday. Leo, do you want to get coffee today?
No Ils, no seats.
Just us. I stared at the screen for a second, smiling like a complete idiot before texting back. Me, yes. I was hoping you'd ask. We met at a small cafe near the studio, one I'd passed 100 times but never actually been inside. He was already there when I arrived, sitting by the window, out of his usual work clothes. No uniform, no professional mask. Just Leo, in jeans and a navy hoodie, hair slightly tousled, coffee in hand. He stood when he saw me, and for a second we both hesitated. Did we hug? Shake hands? Act like nothing happened? Then he leaned in and kissed my cheek softly. I'm glad you came, he said. We sat and talked for over an hour. Not just about what happened, but everything. He asked about my job, my family, where I grew up. I asked about his path to massage therapy, the clients he remembered most, the way his hands knew what pain felt like under the surface. Felt easy, strangely intimate, like we'd known each other much longer than a few months of appointments. There was a moment when he reached for my hand across the table, thumb brushing over my knuckles, and everything in me relaxed. I've always kept lines clear, he admitted quietly. I've never blurred them like this. And yet here we are, I said. He looked at me, then leaned in a little closer. Would you want to come over tonight? There was no awkwardness in the question, just quiet invitation. I nodded. That night, I didn't lie down on a table. I lay down in his bed. There was no role play, no client and professional. Just two men finally giving in to what they'd been holding back. He touched me like he had before, but slower, with more intention. Like now every part of me wasn't just a body to be healed, but someone he wanted to know, learn, explore. And I kissed him like I wanted to memorize him. His breath, his heat, the way he whispered my name like he was still figuring out how it felt in his mouth. And this time, when we fell asleep, it wasn't in silence. It was with his arm around my waist, his face against my neck, and a single thought in my head I couldn't shake. This wasn't supposed to happen, but I'm so glad it did. I hadn't realized how loud my apartment felt until I came home the next morning and it was quiet again. No soft breathing behind me. No scent of eucalyptus lingering in the sheets. Just me, my laptop on the desk, a few emails blinking on screen, and the leftover feeling of Leo's body pressed against mine. I wasn't used to this kind of afterglow, not just from the physical part, but from the emotional one. It didn't feel like a hookup. It didn't feel like a mistake. Felt like something real had just begun. Later that day, he texted me again. Leo, I can't focus today. I keep thinking about the way you looked at me when I said your name. I didn't even bother to hide my smile. Then stop working. Come over. Let's be distracted together. He came by that evening with takeout and a bottle of red wine. We didn't jump straight into anything. We talked, laughed, curled up on the couch like we'd done it 1,000 times before. He looked so different out of his usual setting. Looser, warmer, and when he kissed me between bites of food, his mouth still tasting like wine and spice, it felt like something I'd been missing without knowing it. We talked about what this was, carefully, openly. He told me he hadn't dated anyone seriously in a few years. He said he never let his personal life cross into his professional space. But that with me, the line had blurred from the very beginning. I didn't let myself see it at first, he said, tracing the rim of his glass. But I noticed the way you'd look at me when you thought I wasn't watching. The way your body responded to my hands, even when you tried to act casual. I felt my face flush. Guilty. He smiled, setting the glass down and shifting closer. It was hard to keep my hands where they were supposed to be. We kissed again, this time slower, deeper. And when he moved on top of me, both of us warm and open and so incredibly certain, it felt like something important had clicked into place. Not rushed, not desperate, just right. Later, tangled together in my sheets, he whispered against my skin. I'm not used to this feeling. Which part? I asked. The part where I don't want it to end. I turned to face him fully, brushing a thumb across his jaw. Then don't let it. He didn't answer with words. He just kissed me again. Slow, tender, like a promise. And in the stillness of my apartment, with nothing but the sound of our breath and the ticking of the clock on the wall, I started to believe that maybe, just maybe, this wasn't just something that happened. It was something we were going to keep. It had been 3 weeks since that session, and everything that followed had felt like waking up from a long, quiet sleep. Leo and I were seeing each other almost every day now. Sometimes we'd meet at his place, sometimes mine, and occasionally we'd still go out for coffee, acting like two guys just getting to know each other. But every time we touched, even if it was just a brush of fingers or a kiss at the door, it carried a weight that felt more real than anything I'd had before. We hadn't gone back to the massage studio since that day. Part of me thought maybe it would feel weird, stepping into that room again, lying on that table after what had happened. But one Saturday afternoon, Leo texted me, "Leo, I want to see you again. On my table." But this time, not as a client. When I arrived, the studio looked the same. Same lighting, same music, same faint scent of lavender in the air. But everything felt different. He was already waiting for me, his hands in his pockets, that calm confidence in his eyes again. But now it was paired with something else. Something softer. Something just for me. "Take off your shirt," he said, voice low but warm. "I want to touch you the way I couldn't before." I laid down on the table like I had so many times before, but now my heart was racing for entirely different reasons. Leo came up behind me, ran his hands across my shoulders. Slowly this time, reverently, and I could feel every inch of history in the way he touched me. "This isn't about fixing pain anymore," he said, lips close to my ear. "It's about learning you." His hands were firmer now, but more intimate. They moved like he knew me, like he'd memorized where I held tension, where I liked to be touched. Every pass down my back, every caress across my skin, felt like he was telling me something without speaking. And when I turned onto my back and pulled him into a kiss, the table creaked beneath us, just like it had that first time. But now there was no hesitation, no wondering if we'd crossed a line. We had, and we'd chosen to stay there, together. Later, lying tangled in the afterglow, sheets barely covering us, Leo leaned his head against my chest, listening to my heartbeat. "Do you still want to book sessions with me?" he asked with a small smirk. I laughed, running a hand through his hair. "Only if I get the upgraded version." He looked up at me, his smile turning serious for a moment. "I've never done this before, Noah. I've never mixed the work I do with something that mattered." I tilted his chin so he'd meet my eyes. "This isn't your work anymore. This is us." He nodded, kissed me again, and in that quiet, warm studio, I knew this wasn't a fling. This wasn't an accident. It was the beginning of something I never saw coming. Something real. Something healing. Something I didn't want to stop.